Hi, happy full moon, everyone. It's Meredith. I am here with the message of our full moon in Libra. It will be switching signs into Scorpio as well while it is still in the full phase. So we are tuning into the blessings of full moon in Libra, full moon in Scorpio, and then we are also tuning into what's in the unseen blessings of this particular full moon. So let's get started. We're using Lightseer's Tarot, and we're beginning with Libra. Check your own time zone for when this happens, where you are. So what are the blessings of the Libra full moon for us? Our first card is, oh, how very stable. The King of Swords. I love him. I love him in this deck too because, he's so relaxed. We're seeing the aspect of his intuitive nature, his telepathic nature, and we're also benefiting from a decisiveness in decision making. I like this for the Libra aspect of the full moon because Libra is so good at balancing the scales, and that's definitely the energy that I feel there by the King of Swords. And when we see the kings and the queens, as you know, we're experiencing our own self-mastery. So the full moon blesses us with clarity, decisiveness, balancing our own scales, and in the divine masculine aspect of the King of Swords. So we do have everlasting strength, brilliant clarity with his presence in the reading. Coming with him is, and yes, look at all the moon phases on this card too. The Eight of Coins. This is a validation for us for all that we have contributed to the fulfillment of what we're holding in heart space and what's blossoming for each of us on our foundation, in our sphere of influence. It's the attention to detail. It's the diet of our inner dialogue. How good is it? How are we speaking over our lives? And what we're seeing here is a maturity process in the way we care for, nurture, and love ourselves unconditionally. That reward is paying off. We have then the Four of Swords, one excellent card to have here. And, this is a bit of an incubation card too. The artwork lends itself to a bit of healing energy, upgrade, preparation for what's next. There's connection to the Three of Swords in this card. You see the little heart in the nest as we rest, rejuvenate, and grow and dream, awake and alive what we're holding in heart space. We've seen a bit of the Three of Swords recently. So a lot of us have been doing heart-centered, unconditional, loving self-care, and we're seeing the reward of caring for ourselves well, like a master. And then we have beautiful, the Ace of Cups, everybody's favorite. And look at the upgrade right there. We have the heart in the basket, the connection to the Three of Swords, and the contribution of our own unconditional love to whatever brought about our Three of Swords life experiences. And here we have the divine and cosmic gift of the Ace of Cups, the overflow of abundance and love, an abundance of love for sure, self-love. Though, as you know, we talk about this so often, it means that this is what we have available to all of the significant relationships in our world. And this is us on the Eight of Coins, never giving up on that, continuing to invest in ourselves, in our foundation, and in our significant relationships. Let's take a look at what the Scorpio aspect of this full moon brings us. You just gotta love this. Well, it brings us the Death card, the Scorpio card. Now, here's another one we've been seeing a whole lot of lately. And this is a transformational card. There, we have literally been transforming our sphere of influence in the here and now. And this is creating quite a ripple effect to the oncoming, to the becoming. We're looking ahead over here with our Eight of Coins, with our King of Swords. We're looking out to our horizon. we're putting ourselves out on an edge. We are perhaps even living with a little bit of discomfort there, though it's got a side of adrenaline rush to it as well, because we want to transform, we want to change what has felt old, out of date belief system, programming that doesn't really belong to us. It's something that we talk a lot about in recent days in the daily card readings, the moon phase aspects, especially of the daily card readings. And what we're seeing here is a culmination of a fulfillment of those considerations and how we are benefiting ourselves by paying attention to our Ace of Cups, what we hold in heart space. And what we're witnessing here, if you look at the Ace of Cups, is it's spilling out, it's spilling over. The divine and cosmic gift is in the act of blessing us with overflow. And that's just the beauty of a full moon. It's, you know, we've spent all the prior phases of the moon in consideration of what we're holding in heart space, Four of Swords, nurturing what we're holding in heart space, and then offering it to the universe at large in this overflow of the Ace of Cups. The universe at large grabs hold of that, and we then move into a space of allowing for what surprise, delight, wonder, awe is going to come out of releasing it in this moon phase. It's exciting. Coming with the Death card, talk about brilliant clarity. We have it with the King of Swords. Now we have it with the Sun. We're moving into a transformative time of living our happiest, highest, greatest potential. We've watched this develop for many weeks now, and here we're witnessing yet again how it flows out of the Ace of Cups. It's transformative. It changes the landscape for us. It shifts the horizon for us, though in a celebratory way. Take a look at the character on this card. You can see the horizon in the face of the Death card. You know, this is what we have been looking at, and now it's looking back at us in the brilliant clarity of the Sun. So we've been decisive, we've been diligent, Eight of Coins, we've nurtured Four of Swords, and now we've let go. And come what may, we're going to celebrate it in happiness. Next we have beautiful. We have the Hermit, and this is our inner light shining. This is us beginning to channel the happiness of the Sun from this horizon that we are in relationship with, in co-creativity with, in the divine, all that is. We're watching it start to emanate. And this is where, you know, living life out on the edge with a little bit of an adrenaline rush there, the Hermit's message is a quest beckons. And this has been us answering our own quest, and what a quest it is, because look at what's being delivered here. So in the Scorpio phase, we're going deeper. It may not look like the Hermit's light is very bright, but it's the Sun that's behind it. So it's the brightest it can ever be. And this is what is emanating from us. This is part of the pulse within our sphere of influence. It is coming from the depth of our soulful presence in heart space. And what is it bringing us but now the Four of Wands, the other happiest card in tarot, and they're both in the same section. The Sun and the Four of Wands come together. This is us living happy on our foundation. Now, what we're going to do as we move through the full moon phase is we're going to go into the rest period when the moon starts to wane in a couple of days or a few days. And then it's going to move toward new moon, dark of the moon, and we're going to start a whole new cycle of what we see here. And this is what we're bringing into that next new cycle. So consider the frequency of energy that we are contributing to the oncoming. This is beautiful. Now, the next part of the reading was, what does the full moon bless us with? Out of the unseen. We had a lot of cards come out of this shuffle. So let's begin. We have the Ten of Coins. You know, that is extremely validating to everything we're talking about over here in the Libra and Scorpio section of the full moon energy that's on offer to us at this time. The Ten of Pentacles is as a 10, definitely fulfillment. It's a level of achievement that we haven't known until now. So we're going to bless ourselves from the overflow of the 10 of Pentacles alongside the Ace of Cups and reinvest that into the next cycle. Exactly what we're talking about moments ago over here in the other cards. So this is us living well, living happy on our foundation, Four of Wands, and continuing to dream the bigger dream for ourselves. Then we have more fulfillment. We have the World. And again, we're talking about cycles here. So we have reached fulfillment in the current moon phase cycle. And this is all about paying reward forward when we see the World. So this is confirmation of the Sun, the Death card, the Hermit, the Ace of Cups, the Four of Swords. All of it is coming together here in the World. We are grounded, we are centered in the now, we are enjoying what's here and what's now, and we're going to give from the overflow. Our next card, beautiful. Here's the Queen of Pentacles, the Mother of Materials. See, we're grounding this. We are making this joy a reality. You know, another reader that I was listening to, she's one of my favorites, the Aussie Goddess, if you're interested in her. One of her recent readings was about this, was, you know, discovering what it is to live happy and then not settle for less than. How do you go back to living at a frequency that was less than? Rarely do we ever, right? There is developmental theory mixed in where we can, you know, launch ourselves forward, experience something brand new and wonderful, though we'll regress a little bit and go back to what is known and what is comfortable, yet we discover that we are no longer comfortable there. And I feel that that's the wisdom that comes from the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. You can try on that old worn out pair of shoes, but you can't walk a mile in them anymore. You got to go back to what fits, what feels right, what is an upgrade for you. And this is what we're witnessing here. So we've grounded the reality of happiness, Ace of Cups, into the now. We've grounded the brilliant, overflowing, loving clarity of the Sun to the here and now. Very unlikely that we will go backward. We'll slip back to what's comfortable, like I said. We will continue to use skills, tools, and talents that we've learned along the way, though we are under the dynamic will of forward movement being celebrated now. Now our next card, how beautiful, Justice, the Libra card. See, we're going to continue to keep our scales balanced, and this is something that came out of the Friday reading as well. We saw it in the Two of Coins. It's about living happy. It's about living in harmony and balance. And see, this is not something we're willing to sacrifice. We've done that before. We've discovered, though, our own truth and where we wish to exist within our sphere of influence. That's real fulfillment, Ten of Coins, the World. And this is where we want to operate from. Because the sky, as they say, is the limit. And is there any end to our cosmos, right? Next, the Moon. Beautiful, lovely card to see, especially in a full moon reading. And this is about gaining perspective. And this particular deck brings a message through the artwork here on the card of energies that are emerging, about to surface. And this is where we find some of the surprise and delight that the universe blesses us with, that's flowing out of the Ace of Cups. So there is an emerging energy here in the full moon, and this feels like a spontaneous and synchronistic discovery unique to each and every one of us. So be prepared to receive that. Our next card, look at this. Oh, wow. All right, so we have the Star, then we have the Three of Swords. We've seen, as I said earlier on, we've got the Three of Swords over here in the little nest on the Four of Swords. Though we have the Three of Swords here right next to the Star. And in all the tarot decks, this Star in this deck is my favorite because simply this. Look at her posture. Look at the placement of her hands and the energy stream between her heart and the divine all. And sitting right next to this is the Three of Swords. So as we have been in conversation with the tarot cards about the Three of Swords in recent days, we've talked about the gratitude and appreciation we have had for the challenge that the pain, loss, and sorrow of the past that this card brings stimulated and inspired us into something new, into something greater, into something more. And you can see that all over this reading. So this is wonderful appreciation and acknowledgement of the Three of Swords, because think about a seed pod that we've planted into the ground. You know, the seed's got to crack open. It's got to break open. And I feel as we look at the Three of Swords here in this deck, sitting next to the star, we're witnessing what happens when we allow the blessing of the challenge on the card to become a newly planted seed, to allow it to break open, to allow it to release here on the full moon, and then witness the joy, the happiness, the brilliant clarity, the love, the overflow, the blessing, the bliss that comes from it. It makes every effort in terms of emotional recovery and otherwise worth it on that Three of Swords. Okay, last card. Look at this. Six of Wands, victory and success. Yes, that's amazing confirmation to the entire reading. So I'm really happy to see this card come out last. It's harmonized, it's balanced, it's in harmony with the Libra energy. Our first card being the King of Swords. He's had his eye on the victory throughout the entire cycle. He is representative of all the decisions we've made to live fair, balanced, honest on our own foundation, and true to what we've held in heart space. So blessings to this full moon. Leave some comments. Tell us how you are celebrating all of this and how it came to be for you if you are guided. Peace, happiness. Namaste.